Mm-hmm.
What is up, guys, and welcome back to the Archer Exchange. Bringing you some crypto knowledge, and on today's show, we're doing part 3 of building passive income.
Wait, before that, if you guys stick around and you hit that like and subscribe button, you'll actually, we're going to try to teach you something, give you some valuable information. And anyways, I'm sorry, I just had to say that.
Not to mention, hitting that like and subscribe is going to help us bring you guys more content, better content, all that good stuff. And eventually we can do some giveaways, maybe some free crypto giveaways and
Definitely,
stuff like that.
I've been thinking about that.
Yeah. So it's a trial and error type thing, but on today's show we're going to be talking about 2 more ways to build passive income. And I'm gonna turn it over to Eric to get into the education part, and there you go.
Appreciate it, man. So this is part 3. Microphone's giving me a little trouble there, but part 3. You guys come check out, our channel, some of the other 2 episodes that we cover about passive income and how you can make some money, earn some free money. It's like a whole nother world. Everything's changing in the world pretty much.
Oh yeah,
a lot different. And you don't want to miss out on that opportunity.
Well, anytime there's a chance to make money, 24/7 or whatever the case may be, every little bit helps. Kind of get you into that, making money while you sleep and getting into that financial freedom and stuff like that. So,
absolutely.
We don't like you said, we got 2 other videos out there. So just with today's show and the 2 shows prior, the other 2 parts, that's like 4 different ways to create passive income. And then we got 2 more to bring you today, which is going to be the first one starting out with leverage trading.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it is a little bit more risky. It's a little bit more advanced, but it's almost like gambling, but you have a little bit more control over how much you're going to lose. If
you know what you're doing, and you can still lose, of course, but
right.
you can be, adjust your risk to reward type thing. But yeah, I believe you're absolutely more control.
Yeah.
Than just going
a whole lot more in control than being on the like going to a casino, or even whether you gamble online or go to a casino. I mean, it's a whole lot safer, I would say, because you're in more control of the casinos and stuff like that. They can cut the machines at different rates and stuff like that.
Right.
Versus you're reading charts, and you can also get into different groups and stuff when it comes to leverage trading or just trading in general. And there's multiple types of markets to trade in, the stock market, Forex, and crypto.
Oh, man, yeah.
You can leverage trade in a bunch of these markets. And, again, some people pick up on it pretty good too, like pretty quick. It kind of just depends on what your experience is of reading charts. And if you're good at reading charts, and kind of finding the trend lines and the patterns and stuff like that, you can make a killing on it.
And that's kind of that takes experience too, with getting all that, learning the charts. And you have to start, you take baby steps and work your way up. But like you said, some people really catch on fast.
Yeah.
Some people don't ever catch on. But
right.
But basically, when I first heard of leverage trading before, I didn't even know what it was. Like, first time I ever heard about it.
Right. Oh yeah.
I was like, what is leverage? Like, what the heck is that? And what is margin trading? Like, what is that?
Mm-hmm.
So, and a lot of people say that, ask questions like, well, what is it? How's it work?
A lot of it because
it's kind of complicated,
And they call it different things like margin trading, leverage trading.
Futures,
you got option trading, future trading. So there's a bunch of different terminologies when it comes to leverage trading. But in simple, if you have $100 on your account and you're leveraging against it, you can go up to whatever that exchange allows you to do. Let's say 100x.
Yeah.
Then you're basically betting on the market at $100 times that 100x bet.
Mm-hmm.
So, $100 times 100.
It's like they're giving you a loan, towards that. You're borrowing.
You're basically borrowing, and but you can't lose more than $100. You won't lose more than what's in your account.
But you'll lose it all if you do.
If you don't set it up right, because the higher the leverage is, the less that item or that asset moves. and it don't take much, and you'll be stomped out, right?
So it's basically like a powerful tool that like strategy tool where you can make massive gains on it. Right?
I mean, you can make
or you can make massive losses. Too.
Yeah.
Well, you can lose everything you put in it.
Yeah, right. Whatever you decide to put in.
So it works both ways. You can be good or bad. And that's where like your skill level comes in. And like the more you know, the more you know what you're doing, then you can get to put in the higher leverages.
Yeah,
but like,
right.
Whenever you starting out, you might want to stay kind of low.
Yeah.
Type thing because
just kind of play.
Risky,
just kind of play with it. It's the same when you invest. I don't really know too many people that when they invest, they go all in. Yeah. I got $10,000. I'm gonna just put it all on this one asset. I don't really see too many people that do that.
That's like
some may do it, but needless to say, you're gonna start out small, play with it, see what it does, and you can make a killing on it. And it's one of them ways where like leverage trading, like you can quit your job, and just trade, and it don't matter where you go. You could be on the beach as long as you got internet connection or whatever, and a cell phone or a laptop. And
you can go to Hawaii on vacation.
You can make money every day.
And you can make it quick at the beginning of the day and be done for the rest of the day. You don't even have to really work.
And that's where like you got to set goals and have a plan because a lot of times emotions get involved and stuff like that.
Right.
And I mean, even myself, I've done it too. Like I've watched a trade go up $200, $300 in a trade, and I've already made $300-$400 for the day. Mm-hmm. And I didn't cash out, just being greedy.
Greedy is a thing.
So
I think.
you kind of got to be careful and keep your emotions in check, and got to have that plan, like knowing like a set amount. Like if you plan to make $200-$300 a day, once you reach that, just go ahead and stop. That's a good day. Or if you set it $500 a day or whatever, even $100 a day. Yeah, it's easier said than done, but I'm telling you, like the best thing about like us telling you about it is you're able to learn from the mistakes that we've already made, right? And again, it's still hard to do. Control is a hard thing to overcome, is being able to control yourself.
Emotions is probably one of the hardest things. I'll tell you what though, what's interesting is like you literally, like you said, you can go anywhere and do it as long as you have a signal and a cell phone. And you don't even have to like leave your house if you don't want to.
Oh yeah.
From your house or home or whatever. You don't even have to get dressed. You can be in your pajamas and do it. I mean that's pretty awesome if you think about it. It really is.
You can wake up super early and catch the different time zones and stuff. You can make your daily limit, before 10 o'clock in the morning.
A lot of people do it, and a lot of people think, oh, that'd be kind of boring. But let me tell you, it's fast paced.
Not to mention you get
exciting when it's fast, when it's.
Oh yeah, certain I mean.
Yeah.
Oh man, like 40%, whatever. Yeah, and you just gotta be careful with it, because I mean it's risky, but it's fun, it's stressful. It's kind of one of them things, but it's a tool that if you want to start getting into making money and want to make serious money, you can make serious money with leverage trading. But this again, like I mentioned earlier, is probably one of the most advanced ways to build passive income.
But probably the quickest.
But it's probably one of the quickest, and more so. Like if you want to retire and you want to have financial, and I don't mean like retire and. Because you're still going to be doing trades, right? But you actually have a goal and how much you need to make every day, and this, that, and the third. And again, you can go travel the world and just trade all day, or part of the day anyway. Right. Make your daily limit, and then enjoy life.
And if you do it the right way, like use stop losses, and you don't use like your whole portfolio in a trade.
Yeah.
Use like 10% of it. That kind of thing, and then you don't just jump in a trade because like you gotta look for the right trade. And, something that looks good, and if you get a lot of people get impatient, like, well, I'm just gonna get in it anyway.
Yeah.
And that's where you can mess up. You have to really stick to your guns and your emotions and stuff, like you were saying too. And I have a clear exit strategy too. Like pick like you want to make 10%, get out, or 20% or whatever.
Yeah.
Don't like get greedy. I think that's what gets.
Got to have them goals and stuff. I mean, because and like I say, you know, the same thing that you would put on your accumulate, and like really what you need to do is set a budget, right? Because you can budget yourself to doing all these different types of passive income. Like you have your weekly bills and your weekly budget for like how much you need for your personal life, you know, bills and kids or whatever the case may be. And then you have your spending allowance, you know, that you give yourself every week. And really you need to take and put that towards yourself and invest in yourself. And you use these other avenues to let that money make more money. And again, it's not really gambling if you have a strategy and you have a plan and you do your research and stuff like that. You're gonna be successful, and that's really what we're trying to achieve, and we're also trying to teach you guys.
Yeah. So you can and basically, people are gonna have some losses, like bad trades.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. Like you
Even top traders. Yeah.
Yeah, top traders is just the way it is. But when you have more good trades than bad, and you're making money off of it still, and you use your stop losses where you don't lose that much.
Yeah.
Type of thing, or like how you do, where you put in the extra orders. And
Yeah. To kind of save it. Yeah.
So like, probably need to talk about liquidity. Like a lot of people ask that question too. Like, what does it mean liquidity? Like, liquidity spot right here. No, I can't talk. But that that's where basically where if the price goes the opposite direction from what you predicted it to go, and then it hits that certain spot line right there, you're gonna lose all your money.
Yeah.
It's gone. And then you know what, dude? One of the coolest things about this is that you can make money when the market's going down too.
Yeah, I was going to get into that. Yeah.
Right, it don't matter if it goes up or down. You can.
And people, I don't think people realize that either. That's probably one of my favorite things about being able to leverage trade. Is on the normal, it don't matter what you're in, but we're going to talk about crypto. If you're in the crypto, on the normal, all you can do is go on an exchange and purchase crypto. And you can do a limit order, whatever, where it comes down, hits your thing, and then you get it at a cheaper price, whatever. But as it goes up, you buying in, and that's it. All right. Once it dips down, you can buy in again. All right, and then you're gonna ride it back up, and then you're either gonna sell and then wait on it to dip down again so that you can buy again at a cheaper price. But with leverage trading, it don't matter what the market's doing, up, down, left, right. It don't matter. You can make money 24/7. And there's so many different coins that you can leverage trade on too.
You can have multiple
like if this coin ain't doing anything, or maybe this coin is, or whatever the case may be. And that's probably one of the most interesting things to me is the fact that there's so many options out there for one. And I know the one exchange that I use, you can go up to 125 times your account size or whatever, your portfolio. And that's pretty nice right there too. And then again, just being able to trade against when it's going down. When you can put a leverage in and say you want to short the market, then once it's going up, well, I'm gonna short the market. I have a feeling, or my TA is showing me that the market's gonna come down. I can put a short in. And then if the market goes down, I make money. And then when it hits the bottom, okay, well, I feel like, it's hitting the bottom of my trend line. Now I feel like it's going to go back up, after however many hours or days or whatever it takes to reach that point. Now I'm going to put a long in, meaning that the market is going to go up. And I get in right here, and now I'll make money going up as well. So, you get the best of both worlds when it comes to leverage trading versus the normal just buying, and that's it.
You buy spot price, it's like, you can only make money if it goes up. The price goes up.
Yeah.
But if it goes down, from where you buy, you're actually going to be losing money. Unrealized gains, of course, or if you actually sell, you're going to lose money. But, I mean, you could ride that sucker up and down, like
Up and down all day.
and it doesn't even have to move that much to make money off of it, right?
No.
I mean, the Bitcoin moves a couple $100.
You trade the 15, 30 minute, the 1 hour candle, charts or whatever, and a lot of people like that. And this would be more advanced into it, like knowing which charts to look at, because you got monthly, weekly, daily, hourly, 15 minute, 30 minute, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour. I mean, they even got seconds and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I mean, leverage trading, I would say is awesome, but it is scary.
Very scary.
Right there, you want an adrenaline rush? Go ahead, get you some of that leverage trading, because
oh man, you got gray hair.
You're gonna be looking at your phone about 100 times a day.
Yeah, and that's another thing. You want to be able to like have access, like where you can be looking. Especially when you're starting out. But the biggest thing is, like you were saying, like you want to be able to use like disposable income. If you're going to do it, you don't want to use money that you need for anything. Bills or anything.
Not in your emergency fund.
You figure that you don't have to need it anyways. Like if it disappears, you lose it. Oh well.
I mean, people, I don't know, like, man, it trips me out really when I talk to people and stuff like that, and
what's that?
just the fact of like how people view money. Now I used to be like weird about money. Like I used to be real like I don't know, if I had a certain amount in my bank account, I'd get all stressed out and like
down or up, like down or something? Or?
No, just looking at my normal bank account, not my crypto account, but just like back in the day. I used to look at my like just in general, looking at money and before I started learning everything and investing, being an investor, type of person, it's different. Like you look at your bank account and you're like, oh man, I ain't got no money, or get down less than $1,000 or something. You start stressing out. You know what I mean? And then now it's like, we make pretty decent money or whatever the case may be, but now it's like every little bit, like I throw towards crypto or whatever. I have like my weekly limit or whatever that I like. It don't matter. That's my fun money. This my investing money right here. And that's what I mean by like what I was telling the people is, you got to have your investing money. Even you can call it gambling if you want to, whatever you want to call it, but you need to have money that you set to the side that you can invest in yourself. Not just, and I don't mean just putting it in a safe, because it still ain't doing nothing for you.
Right.
You're not earning no interest. You're not gaining nothing.
And the more you can invest, the more money you're gonna make. You can possibly get back.
Right.
In return.
You need to find other avenues and other ways that you can build financial freedom.
Yeah.
Whether it be in crypto or whatever it is, leverage trading, gaming or whatever. It don't matter what it is.
Whatever person might be good at.
Whatever you're good at.
That's be better at this than we are this or whatever.
If it's something that can make you money on the side, almost like a side hustle. Like me, I'm a real big time hustler, and like to be able to find ways to generate money.
That's good, yeah.
Spend money to make money type of thing. Like I always say, scared money don't make money, and it ain't really gambling, but in the same sense it is and it ain't. You know what I mean? Because everything's a gamble, really and truthfully. Waking up is a gamble. You know what I'm saying? Going to work is a gamble. You don't, you don't know if you're gonna have that job or not.
You don't know if you're gonna get in a wreck. You don't know. I mean, anything.
Everything's a gamble, and so with investing, this is a way that you can not have to worry about so much going on in the background.
And you're planning for your future, right?
Yeah.
When you're doing this, a lot of people, they don't want to do that. They want to spend the money now, and it's like, plan for that future, put that money, it's going to pay off in the long run. Like, it really is. As long as you're picking the right, investment.
Yeah, well, even if it's $20 a week, $50 a week, $100 a week.
Somewhere. And that's another thing too, like to be able to get like, putting in the bigger amounts of money is, pay off your debt first, credit cards, those type of things, where you're not paying it. You're automatically losing a lot of money in interest on those type of things. Pay those off and then free up some money where you can put more into it.
That was one of the biggest things for me was paying off everything.
Trap,
Yeah.
I mean,
debt.
yeah. So, I mean, that's the first thing I would do.
So,
yeah.
so what is like to the few people that's watching, what kind of tips would you give them on the leverage trading side of things?
As far as like they're new, never done it type of thing, I would say don't, of course, spend just money you can't is the most disposable money that you
Mm,
have,
right.
and I would try to find out and learn how to read charts.
Yeah.
Because you got to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And signals and that kind of thing, and then you got to pick a good place to do it. A good exchange or wherever you're going to push your money.
So what's a good place where they can learn to, or not learn, but they can find charts and be able to edit and kind of do their basis and stuff like that?
TradingView is probably one of the best place and most popular places for traders. And it's free.
A lot of tools to your disposal.
Man, you can tie into any chart, pretty much any exchange. Like you type it in, and it takes you directly to that. Because everybody's a little bit different. On prices, even Bitcoin might be this price here, but over here
maybe $100 difference,
right.
$200 difference.
Or
Yeah,
sometimes even more than that.
Yeah,
it's crazy. But yeah, so you got to get the right resources, and you can pay for it if you want to. And you get extra stuff on there, but you don't have to.
Right. And just getting started, many people probably ain't gonna want to pay for services. Just getting started, and that's where, like you said, like you mentioned, TradingView is free.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can use up to 3 indicators, I believe it is.
You can you can use up to 3 with the free version. You can get down to the minute, I think.
Up to a minute. Yeah.
You got to pay for that.
Yeah.
But it has
and you can make trend line. You can it has all the editing tools built into the website. So that again, not to dive too deep into it, but TradingView is a big tool to use if you're into looking at charts.
You can go to the indicators, and there's like thousands of them basically if you wanted to get into it. And that's where what I did was, I would look up, I see indicators, and I would Google it and look them up and learn about it. Or like whenever you listen to other people on YouTube or read a book, and then you can you're hearing the same indicator over, and you're like, what is that? And everybody's talking about researching, and you're just, oh my goodness, like the MACD and stuff, and
not to cut you off, but you can also jump in here and ask us while we're on live stream. You know what I mean? So you can ask us some questions. Now we don't know everything, but we will get you an answer probably a lot quicker than if you're a newbie or whatever.
We'll answer the best we can for sure.
And then another thing, just to touch on, when it comes to beginners and talking about leverage trading, what you want to do is you don't want to play too big on them high leverage, right? Like you don't want to do no 125x.
You'll be liquidated, like it ain't gonna move much.
Because you kind of got to understand that the higher your leverage, the less it's going to take for that asset to move up or down, depending on if you short the market or long the market. And short means you're anticipating it to go down, long you're anticipating it to go up, type of thing. So the higher your leverage, the less it's got to move to be able to stomp you out. Because if you're only betting $100 on the market to go one way or the other, then it ain't going to have to move so much because you're betting 125 times what your initial investment is. And so you kind of got to be careful. Like you want to start out with the low leverage, kind of figure out what your entry price to your liquidation price is and what the difference is between that. If you start out with a 10x leverage and you got $100 entry price or entry into it, and say you're in you invest $100 into the market, you do a 10x leverage trade, and say we're doing Bitcoin, for example, and you put in an entry price of 28,000. All right, but your liquidation price is say 29,000, and you're doing a 10x, then you got $1,000 difference between when you got in to when you would get stomped out. All right, so you can start playing around with that and say, well, this coin don't move that drastically. Yeah. So then you could up your leverage. Now Bitcoin does move a lot. Like it'll move a couple $1,000 in an hour or so. It can. So with that being said, you kind of got to know which coins. You also got them penny coins, like 40 something cent or 0.31 0.25 or whatever, and it's gonna be them back two numbers. Like you got thousandths of a penny, you know, and it makes a huge difference. So you, especially when you're playing with like the cheaper coins, like you got to really be careful, and that's why we say like pay attention to your leverage ratio when it comes to what your entry price is to what your liquidation price is, because that's going to give you a basis of the amount that you put into the market and what your leverage needs to be at.
You can be isolated.
Isolated or cross, yeah.
Cross, and that could be, there's pros and cons to both.
And that's a big talking point too, because cross and isolated is a huge deal. It just depends on how much is in your portfolio. For one, if you have 10,000 in your portfolio, in your leverage trading portfolio, and you put it on cross, and you do 100x,
even though you're only playing like $1,000 out of your 10,000, you can still.
You're playing the whole 10,000.
But your leverage is going to be like different.
But it's going to be a whole lot. You're going to have a whole lot more room before you get stomped out, right?
But if you do, you're going to.
But if it goes down, like even though your distance is a whole lot further, you're playing. You got to understand that you're playing with your whole portfolio. You're playing with your whole thing.
Yeah.
Versus isolated. If I put a bet in on the market at $100, and I do isolated,
so you got $100,
50x,
10,000 in your account, you're just gonna lose that
100, and that's
10,000,
it.
Yeah.
Across, you would lose. You could lose your whole portfolio.
You got to pay attention, because a lot of times you'll think you're going isolated because what you did before, said it last time, but then switch back, reset.
You gotta be careful with that too.
You put your trade in, you try to hurry up, get in on a trade or something, and you look, you're like, oh crap, I'm gonna cross.
Yeah, I did that too.
And oh man.
Yeah. You gotta be careful.
So stop loss. So how can a stop loss help somebody? Like,
so the stop loss is gonna help you from losing everything. Like you wanna, again, it comes with plans like, and it all based on your mindset, right? Like me, I don't really care if I put $100 bet on. I'm more of a gambler. Like the difference between me and Eric is like I may be more of a gambler than he is, and he may be more of a conservative gambler than what I am, right? So if he's more conservative, then he may set a stop loss, whereas me, I might say, oh, it just is what it is. I may get back in later or whatever. And so you kind of got to figure out which type of trader you are.
Losses can hurt you too, because if you don't know the trend, follow the trend, and you set, like, you're coming down like this, and you set your stop loss inside the trend instead of outside, just below it, and it hits it, then you're going to
get stomped out, and then it's going to go up, and then you're going to be like,
daggone. You got
to
be able to know where to set that stop loss.
Yeah.
At the different lines, and there where
Stop losses will come in handy, but again, you got to know where to set them, because I've seen there's been times where you set a stop loss and it'll hit that stop loss and you're stomped out, but then it goes back up where you could have made money, or you could have had it right, or went up and stomped you out. And if you would have had your stop loss a little bit higher, the market went down and you could have made money. So,
so you gotta be careful with those.
It's kind of tricky with that stop loss thing, because it'll have you thinking like, God dang, I could have stayed. If I would have just had it a little bit higher, I could have been good or whatever.
Yeah, because this trading stuff like this is known for like a real quick down and quick right back up where it was, just to like stomp everybody out, or go up real quick, stop everybody out, come down. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Because crypto's like the most volatile asset class in the world, so you gotta be more careful as far as that. And so also you can paper trade. You can get on these, like TradingView has, where you're not using your real money, but you can set in trades.
Oh yeah.
To see how you would do. Would have done on the trade, and you wouldn't lose any money.
Right.
And that's like a new person might want to try that too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I will say, like from experience, that like whenever you do that, it just
you kind of don't. It ain't
the same way as if you got your own money. Even if it's $10, $100, or whatever. When you actually like lose,
when they tell you that you got $100,000 of free money that you can play with to kind of get used to, it's not the same feeling, because
no, it's not.
I don't know what it is, but like me, I'll just go ahead and use the whole daggone demo. It's a demo account is what it is, and needless to say, you get $10,000 demo account or $100,000 demo account, you're not gonna worry about if you lose anything because your mind's already set to where you can lose the whole thing and it don't matter.
Maybe people are different than us, but I just feel like when you get your skin in the game, it's like, and you're losing or whatever, you're like, man, what did I do wrong here?
I'd rather see me. I've always been one day. I'm gonna go ahead and put real money on there. If I lose it, I lose it. If I win, I win. Yeah, right. Type of thing. Just because after so many losses, you gonna get more determined to figure out how to win.
Yeah.
If you got that right mentality.
Yeah.
And that mindset. So that's kind of how I look at it.
Right. And I mean that's a good solid point right there. Look at it like that. I mean, but like
you can only lose so many times before you figure out like what am I doing wrong?
Right,
you know what I mean?
Right. And you try a different strategy, or sometimes, I mean, you can read the charts right and everything. But
and it still go the wrong way.
Something happens, like go the other way, It's like
you
can't really do nothing about it.
Exactly. There's too much stuff that goes on in the world every day to know everything. There's too much to pay attention to, like in the news, what's going on over there in China, or what's going on in South Africa, or whatever. There's just no way that you know what's going on and what's going to affect your trade.
It can really change like overnight. Like like we could be sleeping and something come out of another side of the world.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be in a trade overnight. I mean, I've learned my lessons on that one too.
Yeah, it seems like
because there's different time zones, right? You got like the Sydney time zone, the New York time zone, and something else time zone.
Well, it's like crypto is 24/7. A lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah.
That they think it's like the stock.
Now you got the U.S. The U.S. has a cutoff, but then it moves into a different time zone.
Right.
And but it's still going
24/7. People are waking up when we're asleep all over the world.
Forex is the same way. I used to do Forex too, and it was the same way. I mean, you got these different time zones that you got to learn, and crypto for one is more susceptible in different countries than it is the U.S. Right? So like more people across the world is trading crypto and selling crypto, buying crypto in different countries than they are in the U.S. So if you're in the U.S. leverage trading, it's going to be, it could be kind of slow at a certain time. Mm-hmm. And then, like, you hit this, like, 4 o'clock to 9 o'clock or whatever the case may be, or at nighttime, in between like 10 and 4 or something like that.
In the morning, it's pumping more up until, about 10:30? Morning, and then at night, about 2 o'clock in the morning, it seems like that's when it goes crazy, and you wake up like, ooh.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah.
And that's where your stop loss can help you there too, though. But best thing I think, especially starting out, is you want in and out of these trades quicker than you don't want your stuff sitting in there for a long period of time. It's safer to get in, make some money, and get out.
And if you want to know what platforms offer leverage trading, leave a comment because I'm not just gonna tell you what exchanges use it. There ain't no point in it if you're not really curious to know about it, right? But if you want to know more about leverage trading, then leave a comment or whatever, and we'll get more in depth about it. But again, not to spend so much time on leverage trading.
How much time we spent on that one?
About
pretty good amount.
Good amount, but so we're gonna move on to the next segment. But if you're interested in leverage trading, you can always leave us a comment on the video, whether you're watching now or later, and we can get more in depth on it, like what exchanges we use and what strategies we use and stuff like that. But we're gonna have to get a little bit more participation from the people, and really. Yeah. So moving on to the next thing is on building passive income, and that's a fascinating space.
Can make money playing games, man.
Now you can make money playing games.
How's that work?
Well, you play the game and you earn some money.
I mean, that sounds like too good to be true. Because I know there's a lot.
Well, for the longest time, you ain't been able to do nothing unless you was.
You talking? No, wait a minute. Now you talking about you gotta get in a tournament and win.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. Like back in the day, before it was all. You got to be top-notch gamer to make some money, and get sponsored, and you got to travel to these tournaments and play in front of everybody and stuff like that. Yeah. And now with crypto coming along, it's almost like it's open to everybody,
Oh man.
and everybody has a chance to
Yeah. Level
um,
playing field.
level playing field. Yeah, and so a few different play to earn games, and these are games that we either have personally played or they're like we're anticipating them to come out,
Yeah. Oh,
right?
and they just keeps getting better and better. Like the new ones
Yeah.
already coming out. Like, ooh.
And so one game that I have played, I don't know if Eric has played it or not, but I have tried it out, and the name of it is Light Night X. It's a pretty fascinating game. It ain't got the best of graphics yet, but it's almost like a Fortnite blockchain game, right? So like you get in the blimp or whatever, and you jump out. Right. And then you land somewhere and you collect weapons and then you kill players or whatever the case may be, and you win skins, which is NFTs and stuff like that. And so that was a pretty interesting game. It, like I said, not the best of graphics, but with crypto just getting involved in the gaming space, obviously it's going to take a while for the graphics to get. But the and I've already seen games with some badass graphics too. So
like maybe Illuvium.
Yeah, and we're gonna get into that one in a second. Another game that I've played and he's played as well, I know for a fact, is gonna be Undead Blocks.
Oh yeah.
Now I know a lot of people in the gaming, just because of Call of Duty, they had zombies, right? So Undead Blocks is a zombie shooting game. Yeah, and so you go around, you're in a map, and it's just basically killing zombies. And what you do is like, I think they had a tournament like every weekend. You could participate in a tournament, and now everybody has a chance to earn free crypto, right? Just by playing the game, and you get a certain amount of Undead Blocks token. And I'm pretty sure. I mean, I earned a good bit, I earn a good bit of tokens by playing the game. Now they do have like a set amount, like you had to be in the top 10,000 or whatever the case may be.
Beta version.
And that was in the beta phase.
I haven't played in a while. It may still be the beta. I don't know. It might not be, but it was awesome because you could actually like take the money and you could buy your own guns.
Yeah.
And stuff, and
level them up and stuff like that.
Yeah. And you own them. You can actually, I guess, sell them if you want, or stake them. Remember,
yeah.
You stake them and stuff too. And they're yours, and it would help you in the game, to better, play the game and stuff. And then you could always sell it or whatever, upgrade more and change all that. I mean, that's amazing to me.
But that was a nice game. So that's two shooting games.
The graphics were pretty good on it.
Yeah, the graphics was
especially for being a beta.
Yeah.
I mean, it was.
And a zombie game, fast paced. It was a fast paced game, which Light Night X was a fast paced game too. But so that's two. Like shooting games, if you're interested in, first person shooter, I think Light Night X was third person shooter. And then you got Gods Unchained, and Gods Unchained is it's a card game.
Yeah.
And
it's been around for a little while.
Yeah, Gods Unchained's been around for a while. Yeah. I mean, I still got a bunch of NFTs with them, but needless to say, if you're interested in like I don't know, Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon type thing, it's almost like that, but it's digitalized and NFTs, and like your cards are actually get turned into an NFT. Like you open these packs just like you would if you was opening up a Pokemon pack, but it's digital, and you get a certain amount of you get 3 cards, and one of them being rare, legendary, or whatever. And the other ones would be either basic or whatever. And you fight with these cards, and every card has a different,
that's awesome.
A different attribute that you fight with or whatever.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty fascinating if you're into like card games. And another game would be Axie Infinity, which was probably one of the most popular and most well-known gaming cryptos out there.
You're gonna make a lot of money off of that game.
Now that one's, I'm not real big on Axie Infinity gaming as far as like the actual gameplay. Now as far as the project itself, it's been around for a while, and it's stuck around, and it's made people a lot of money. And
there's time to get into it too, because like you can buy the tokens get.
Yeah, to get them fairly cheaper now because we're in the bear market, right? So,
Yeah.
Again, that's a fairly good project right there because they've been around for a while. I mean,
Yeah.
I know people overseas are killing it right now.
It's like rated one of the top #1 games right now, isn't it? At this time right now, like it's
Yeah.
high on the list.
It's been around. It's been #1 for a while. Like this gaming space is so new, and it's only gonna get better, right? Like the graphics, the gameplay, the different types of games, that they're working on.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't expect. I mean, it's like Call of Duty and Activision. Activision and all that coming out with Call of Duty and stuff. It takes a while for you to get games up to speed like that.
I think when the communities catch on that, as far as like you actually own the stuff in the game, and it brings real value to the players.
Yeah.
That it'll start to take off more, and adoption will come.
Well, that's one thing I love about gaming is just the simple fact that you can make money by playing a game. Because again, I've played games, not so much no more, only because just always busy. But before, I remember I'd come home from work and play the game, or on the weekend I'd stay up all night playing the game. I mean, I was a big time gamer.
Well, I was too.
Growing up, even when I was in the military, whatever the case might be, playing while you're in the barracks, you can't go off base or whatever. I was big on games and stuff like that, but now it's, again, like you say, level playing field. Everybody's got same opportunity to be able to make money by doing what you like to do, and there's so many gamers out there. Like,
I remember when Axie Infinity was real big back in the last bull market.
Yeah.
And there was people that like quitting their jobs just because they're making more money playing that. Like in the Philippines and different third world countries and stuff like that, because they can make more money playing the game than they could going to work.
Yeah.
I mean, that's wild.
And so another one that we'll cover is Decentraland. It's another virtual world, virtual land, and like getting NFTs and metaverse type game. So that's another one that you can look into. Spider Tank. I've heard good things about Spider Tank. It's basically you're fighting in a tank, destroying each other, like roaming around and shooting each other in a tank. So that's pretty interesting too.
How would somebody, like, if they wanted to play these games, like, would they download an app? Would they go to?
Well, so there's a website that I used to go to finance called playtoearn.io or whatever. If you just type in play to earn games, and you'll find, and like it tells you what's in beta phase, what's in alpha phase, what's live, what's been canceled, or whatever. Like it tells you everything. Current status of it.
Oh, cool. Right.
And it even has the categories. Playtoearn.io or whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
And I got it saved in my phone, matter of fact. But and again, like it even has the categories labeled. Like if you're in the shooting games, it'll tell you the top 5 shooting ones. If you're into arcade, top 5 of them. First person, third person, whatever.
Type of games you like,
yeah.
And then you can,
card games, whatever, puzzle games, everything. I mean, they got so many games out now. Now again, I'm sure there's a game for everybody.
Oh yeah.
If you look for it, but a lot of people don't even know about this information. That's the biggest thing right there. Is like gaming is a big space. Like there's so many people that's into gaming, in general. And I mean, could you imagine, like, now I know we don't get a whole lot of followers, but if we connected to the gaming space, I mean, it's just massive. Like if they knew how much was out there with crypto and
like, it hasn't been out that long, and a lot of them aren't that AAA look to, but they are coming out now.
Yeah.
And in the future, it's coming, and so people don't want to get into it maybe because of that, or maybe they don't know about it so much, or whatever the reason. But
let me hold the mouse.
It's coming though. Like there's not gonna be. You can't stop technology. Basically.
So the last one, and I'm kind of saving the best for last, and there's one that I'm really anticipating to be able to play. is going to be alluvium, and I want to I want to be able to oh man, I don't know what I just did, but
Oh, you want to screen share the?
yeah, I wanted to, but don't you have it should be.
It should be on your Google right here. Go to the other one.
Oh, there it is.
There it is. Yeah.
All right, so let's see if it pops up right here.
Yeah, alluvium looks. I mean, it's awesome, dude.
What's this? I mean, the daggone oh no, you need to do I need
Bought some alluvium, you know, the coin itself. And it got up to like $2,000, which right now, what is it, sitting around $50-$60, I think. Of course, because everything came down in the bear cycle. But basically, you know, if you ever got back to $2,000, you bought it at $50 right now or whatever. Man, that's killing right there.
So here is alluvium, and I just want to show you guys a little bit about alluvium. I mean,
so you got go back up for just a second. So you've got the overworld. So I guess it's kind of open world right there. It looks like.
Yeah, and it's currently in private beta too for Windows and Mac.
For Windows and Mac.
Currently in private beta Windows and Mac.
You got the arena.
Currently in alpha phase, which is Mac, Windows, and Android.
Okay, so it's coming out even more like.
But like just to show like some of the graphics on here, if you can see, I mean the graphics is insane.
And the sound and the graphics, like, I mean that right there looks like PlayStation 5 game to me or something.
I mean it's just a badass trailer right here for a game. I'm looking forward to being able to play it. You know, let's fast forward a little bit.
Mean, look at that, man. That's me right there. You can't beat that. I'd play that for sure.
Yeah.
That's that arena looks like right there.
Right.
She's tearing them up, boy. Look at it.
Yeah. So that's just a little teaser of what alluvium looks like, and again, you know
that's a blockchain game. And you can make, like, you get paid, like, giving NFTs and paid NFTs and stuff like that.
And get to have fun while you're doing it. Yeah, I mean,
exactly, God. Dude, you can't beat that. I mean, that's like every game.
And that's one of, like, the top games that I'm looking forward to as soon as it comes out. Because right now, you know, again, it's in beta phase, alpha phase, or whatever. But as soon as they figure, because all they're trying to do is incorporate, you know, the blockchain and, you know, being able to pay out the rewards to the people. And they got to get the marketplace, you know, up to speed and everything. Because it ain't about just designing a game when it comes to making money and allowing you to earn while you play. There's a whole lot more behind it than to just create a game and you just, you know, just play the game and that's it. You know, now there's other concepts to it and behind it.
There's so much variety out there already in the, you know, play to earn games. You know what I'm saying? Like you've got like metaverse type stuff. You got like the
virtual world and
virtual world. You got the shooter stuff. That game right there looked like, you know, futuristic kind of stuff going on there.
Yeah.
I mean, that looked,
and some fighting and like
fighting. You got card games like you know, Gods and Chess.
Yeah, it's almost like an open world plus a fighting. Like you get to battle your.
It kind of reminds me of like a Final Fantasy game in a way, where you know, you're exploring the world. And then you have the, like, you fight where you give the commands. It looks like you give the commands and your character does it for you.
Yeah.
You can probably imagine build them up and stuff like that too. But I mean, I'm looking forward to playing that.
Yeah,
and
right.
I feel strong about that project. Like I'm invested in that project.
Yeah,
a
right.
Little bit. Not much, but you know.
That was definitely time to get in too, because it's actually a good bit down for one, but not to mention only a few short months ago it was like 70, 80. Or over $100. Yeah. Now it's down to like $50-something. It's like 59.
Like
yeah, all time high like 2000 when it came out. Now I don't know if that was because that's what they planned to launch the initial launch was, or whatever the case may be. But needless to say, it's like $50-something. And if that coin, I mean, if that
takes off, like think about how much money is in gaming in the world, like.
And how many people spend time playing games? I mean,
So
if that's an interesting game and you look at the graphics and stuff, I mean, that's going to catch people's attention right
maybe
there.
Maybe it's the one that really takes off in this space or something. You never know. And it's possible it could go way above $2,000 if that's the case. You know?
And not to mention, so another thing that has to do with gaming and getting into the gaming space is like you need to hold that asset to be able to get stuff, right?
Yeah.
So whether you're in Illuvium, I'm sure you're going to need to hold Illuvium because I'm sure purchasing assets or selling assets is going to come in the form of Illuvium or Ethereum or whatever the case may be. Like whether it be purchasing them monsters or whatever you want to call them.
Actually, would you say you had the 3?
You had to have three pets or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
To be able to play the game.
So now's the time to get in while it's cheaper, you know.
And you got to have that certain asset. You got to have that certain token or coin to be able to do anything anyway. So now's the time to definitely accumulate whatever you like. Start researching which ones to get in. Especially if you're into gaming, you need to start finding out what the top games is and what they're going to be, and then you start acquiring those assets that way. Because if you plan on playing the game, you're going to need it anyway.
Yeah, now's the time to get it while it's cheaper.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that makes sense.
And, so I think that's, again, I mean, there's many more games out there. That's just a few.
Like more coming out all the time, too, as time goes on in this space.
Yep, and probably even better.
Yeah. And, they're going to get better and better. Yeah, definitely. Like, I mean, it's just
it's going to be here to stay because of the simple fact of there's so many games out there, and this space right here, like you would think that, I mean, because it right now is competing with say some of the top brands out there, Activision and stuff like that. You know, where like you got Call of Duty, you got Fortnite, and stuff like that, and they don't reward their players at all. Like kids and even grown people spend countless numbers of hours playing those games and they don't get anything in return. Yeah. And now you got this coming along where, I mean, like again, I said it before, if it attracts the gamers, I mean it's gonna be massive.
Oh man, because that's just a huge area to get into, anyways. That's like to tap into. Oh my god.
And so. With that being said, we are pretty much done with the education part. So,
anybody leave a comment on there?
No, not yet. So, again, if you would leave us a comment, we've ran through the education part of it and the different ways that you can make passive income. The 2 other ways being leverage trading and play to earn gaming. Leave a comment down below. Make sure you hit the notification button, subscribe, and you know that'll keep you up to date whenever we go live. We go live twice a week.
Definitely.
And we're gonna start doing 6:15 now. But again, we go live on Mondays and Thursdays. We did have to switch up and do Tuesdays every now and again, and maybe Monday or Tuesday, just depending. But should be every Thursday, no matter what.
Thursday's been pretty solid.
Yeah, Thursday's been pretty solid. So, you know, like I said, let us know in the comments down below. We're gonna jump into the next.
Man, you know, like when I got into this space and learning this stuff, I used to like pick certain people that were, giving education on crypto or different things, and I would listen to it on my car ride all the way to work.
Yeah, right.
Stuff, and that's what these people can do. Put it on there. You're like doing double dipping, you're doing 2 things at once, accomplishing 2 things. You're going to work and you're able to listen and gather knowledge about something. Yeah. And, I mean. I
said the same thing. I had somebody messaging me or I was talking to them or whatever, and they don't never do it because they feel like they ain't got time. Well, if you go to work every day and you're in that car ride, what are you doing while you're driving to work or driving to the grocery store or wherever you're going throughout the day? You got time.
Definitely.
You sit in that car, take 5 extra minutes to pull up informational videos. Hopefully you pull up our videos, and listen to us. But at minimum, you need to be educating yourself on whatever it is you're trying to do. first and foremost. Now, hopefully, again, like I said, hopefully, you'd watch us or whatever, but.
Probably the most I learned in this space was like going to work. Like
Yeah.
it was that hour-long drive and an hour back, 2 hours a day or whatever at the time. Like
Yeah, you got a 45-minute drive to work. I mean,
dude, like you can concentrate and listen and like you pick up things. You don't have there's distractions like you do at the house, like your kids.
you got to get out of that. You got to get out of the habit.
Yeah.
You got to.
So I mean, seriously though, like before, you listen to like music. Like what benefit is that going to help me with my goals in my future? All I'm helping them do is make more money. These people don't listen to their music more,
right.
And I want to help myself.
And we know, it sounds good. You get the jam out, going to work or whatever.
I still do it sometimes.
Yeah,
but it's
right.
like, when I want to learn something, it's like, man, this is a good time to do it.
Yeah.
Because
it's the best time just because you're by yourself. You're traveling to and from somewhere.
Yeah.
And you got that free time to where you can't really do nothing else. You can't really stare at your phone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, and play a game or whatever.
That really good.
And it's probably one of the best times to, educate yourself.
Like talking about like the trading and stuff. Okay, the leverage trading and just trading in general. That's where I learned a lot about trading.
Yeah.
Was on the way to work and back. I would put those videos on there and they'd be teaching about the charts and different.
Especially if you're by yourself. If you're by yourself, you ain't got nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying?
That time, and that frees up where you don't have to spend 2 hours after you get home doing the same thing. You
right.
have 2 hours ahead. You have a 2 hour drive or whatever.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's just amazing how it works. Like you can actually, invest. That's a good way to invest in yourself.
Yeah.
And growing and being productive and efficient.
Yeah.
In it too,
And again, it's not just crypto. You can do that on anything.
Oh yeah.
And
of course.
You got to put yourself first. And again, listening to music and stuff like that ain't gonna get you nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's cool and all, but again, like, and I'm not saying every day, every minute that you're down the road. Obviously, you take a break, listen to music, whatever. But you need to find time to educate yourself and try to learn whatever you're trying to accomplish.
Because I mean, we got busy, hectic lives. Everybody's got busy, hectic lives. It's hard to find time to do things. To find the time to be able to look up stuff and research or whatever. And it just gives you that opportunity. Like you said, you're going to work anyways. And why not take that advantage of that opportunity?
Yeah, right.
I mean, it works out great.
And so with that being said, we're going to move on to the news of the day. Pretty exciting news as well is going to be what happened yesterday. And so that's very important news for today. And so what happened was we had the Shanghai, or what they call it,
I like they changed it to Shapella.
Shapella upgrade
for
Ethereum, and that's just massive right there.
Oh man, yeah, and so it was successful, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
and it happened at like 10 o'clock last night.
Yeah.
And it only lasted a few minutes too,
and,
like 10, 15, 20 minutes.
And what it eked up to over 2,000 today, right?
Yeah, it's over 2,000.
This year.
Yeah.
Check real quick, see what it is right now. But yeah, so it's showing right, the price reflecting what happened. But I didn't think we'd see 2,000 ETH this quick. I really didn't.
Or $30,000 Bitcoin.
It's still looks like, well, if it has to refresh or whatever, but yeah, it's still over 2,000 right now.
Yeah.
And it actually got up to around 2,000 on Coinbase, around 2,000. About 25 looks like, something like that.
Yeah. Well, over a good little bit over 2,000. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
consider.
Good.
And really, we were talking about it earlier today. If you look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin's almost half of where it was at when it hit its all-time high. The bull run.
68, 69.
Yeah.
And so almost halfway.
And now you got Ethereum coming in a little over 2,000. And its all-time high was 4,800.
Yeah, so it's about.
And it's kind of.
But have you noticed like the altcoins are still like 90% down, 92% down, so still good buying opportunities for the right ones, right?
Yeah, right. There's so many. Got to know what you got. Got to know what to get into.
Right. But yeah. So thank God they didn't have any problems with that. A lot of people are always skeptical about whenever there's a big upgrade.
What did they do? Name it after Dave Shapella or something?
Hey, change that, maybe. I mean.
Oh man!
I don't know where to come up with these names.
Well, Shanghai now it's Shapella all of a sudden. I don't know, but
I know, right? But so like we talked about yesterday, people will actually be able to unlock their ETH.
I think it was like 1.4 million Ethereum that was locked up this whole time.
Yeah, something like that.
And you can do the math. 1.4 million times 200. I mean 2,000. That's a lot of money. I mean it was a ton of money.
I read something earlier where the average price for the locked up ETH was like $3,000 something. So it's 2,000 now. So a lot of people probably don't want to pull out right now.
Yeah, right.
But it's also set up where it's in stages where the withdrawals. It's not everybody at one time to make it. The market won't dump that way.
Right. Just in case they decided to sell after they got done staking or whatever.
So
I bet they earned a ton too. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole time, like because you're staking 32 Ethereum.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money, and that if you're talking
income, right?
32 times 2,000, that's 64. That's 64,000. So
what is the rate? Like 6% or 8%?
five. Well, it depends on what exchange, I guess, or what pool.
If you lock your 32 directly to it, I think it's around 6%. I think.
Well, so 6% of $64,000 though. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a lot.
And these people probably had it for a while too.
Right.
I remember one feller, he locked his 32 in and he accidentally hit it again and put another 32 in there. Couldn't get it out like a few years ago.
Oh man, we got 64 Ethereum.
So I bet he's happy today.
Oh yeah. Might well hold that. Man, I wish I had 64.
You really do.
I only got 25.
Right. I mean, you remember today we was talking about it, and there's the professionals out there, the people. This is what they do. They're saying like Ethereum could go $100,000 easily, like in the next few years, like some 10 years, whatever. Like it's pretty much limitless what it could do. I mean, it seems far fetched, but I mean, who could Bitcoin to $8,000 in just a few years?
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's doable, but yeah, I mean, this is just unstoppable, like.
Yeah, not to mention it's also being deflationary because it's burning Ethereum every day.
There's actually less Ethereum today than there was yesterday.
Yeah, right.
It burned more. It burned so much that there's less. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, that's nuts, man.
Yeah.
I think it's like, how. Bitcoin,
well, they've been burning since the merge, right?
Well, what EIP 1559?
Yeah, the EIP 1559. Yeah.
Was it August 2021?
Right.
When it was. Yeah,
they've been burning.
And it's in the billions, like how much they burn and stuff. And I believe the way the mechanism works is like the more activity is, the more the burn kicks in too. So it actually becomes more deflationary, the more congested.
And again, so to the people out there, if you know how deflationary works, the more supply that gets burned and the more demand you have for that asset, the higher that price is going to be. And with Ethereum, it's almost like the sky's the limit because the more it's burning, and it's going to be like Bitcoin, well, the next halving, and then what is there, like one more after this, or?
And also too, man, this is crazy. So, and I read this and saw it somewhere a little while back, but so Ethereum is actually more deflationary than Bitcoin until Bitcoin hits like the 3 or 4 halvings from now or something like that, and then it'll catch up to it and they'll kind of even it out. And I think that Bitcoin will pass it up by then, but Ethereum is actually like better right now until like the next few halvings or whatever.
Yeah, right, and then because there's only gonna be 21 million.
It keeps cutting down more and more. Now you never know, they might change the burning mechanism and burn more or something by then. You never know. I doubt it, but who knows?
Right.
Things change, but yeah, I mean it's crazy, man. Like, unbelievable.
So that's a pretty important update right there, and the upgrade to the Ethereum system and ecosystem, really.
Yeah, they'll get into the sharding stuff now. I think the sharding is supposed to be finished by 2026, I think, or something like that. Or 25, somewhere around there. I can't remember exactly. I have to look it up. But that's when like it's final.
I don't know if we covered it, but the main thing with this Shanghai update and upgrade is the fact that there were so many stakers that had staked 32 Ethereum to the network. And what this upgrade did was allow the stakers who staked that at 32 initial Ethereum, they was able to finally unstake their Ethereum and and finally get their rewards and all that stuff. And
would you
and
would you unstake yours right now today if you were able to? I would.
I mean, I would wait just because we're in the bear market, you know what I mean, and just for the simple fact, like you're still earning, if you're earning 6% per Ethereum, and I've already got 32 because that's what's required to lock it up. I mean, that's a lot of money, and that's again like our whole goal is talking, or our whole video is talking about passive income, so staking that Ethereum, and especially the amount that you got to stake. I mean, you're talking about massive passive income right there.
Man, it's like $64,000.
Yeah, $64,000, and then 6% a year off of that, and then you can do that divided by 12 months, divided by 4 weeks, or whatever the case may be.
Until like you get close to bull run and you plan on
selling. Right. Like because there's certain lock-in periods, right? Like 30 days, 6 months, their Ethereum, and they kind of wanted to see what it's going to do to the market, right? Because if you got people that's been in for a long time or staked for a long time, they're kind of debating on if the market was going to crash, or not the market, but Ethereum was going to crash or whatever. They had a fear of people selling off their Ethereum, from holding it so long and having to wait and stuff like that. And so, we'll see what happens with Ethereum in the next couple days or weeks.
Gas fees are supposed to be lower now. Now I haven't used any since the upgrade or whatever, so I'm not sure about that. But it's supposed to be lowering those gas fees a lot too.
Right.
And which the sharding later on is going to lower it even more. But so that's another advantage of the upgrade stuff too that we just had yesterday. Pretty fascinating stuff.
Yeah. So let's get into the coin of the day. And
coin of the day.
Coin of the day is going to be Sandbox.
Ooh-wee.
And so it's another gaming coin. We talked about Sandbox. It was launched in 2011. It implemented the marketplace where you could purchase and sell your NFTs, which is non-fungible tokens, which is basically the stuff that you earn by playing the game. They implemented in 2021, so that's pretty cool. Because it's been around since 2011 all the way, so 10 years of them working and progressively, upgrading and getting better and better.
Right.
And so what else?
Sandbox is I'm very extremely bullish on Sandbox because they've been around a long time. They started the metaverse type stuff, the first ones basically. They're so far ahead of the game, ahead of the other tokens that have come along, right? That they basically, it's like they got a head start on it, and they're way up there too on the list too as far as the gaming stuff of it. And I mean, I'm telling you, dude, Sandbox, it was like $8.44 or something like that.
Yeah.
All-time high, something. I think it was like $8.44.
$8.44,
And now it's like 60-something cents. I mean, it's a heck of a buy right now.
Heck of a buy.
If you buy it right now, and
you gotta look at it like Black Friday sale right here, 24/7 every day.
Heck yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. I mean, you can't beat it because the metaverse stuff is coming. Undoubtedly, that's the future. Now, it might be 10 years, it might be 5. 5 to 10 years, I would say, is when it's really going to hit really hard. Look at Facebook; they changed their name to Meta. They're all in it too, type of thing. Whereas, they're the centralized version of the metaverse. Whereas, this one, Sandbox, is the decentralized version of it.
Yeah.
Right? But yeah, I mean, it's awesome, dude. So you can buy, property in there.
Yeah.
You can build whatever.
It kind of reminds me of Minecraft, type of thing. Now, you get to again purchase the land,
and you can resell it too.
Yeah, and you can resell it, right? Like if you hold it, obviously, the people that jumped in Sandbox at the beginning, they if they was to sell now, they'd probably be making a killing. Yeah. Or not now, but waiting till the bull market, to sell. But
and it's funny too because not to cut you off, but we're talking about passive income, right? So there again, you buy property in here, you build a casino, you build a zoo,
Oh,
whatever,
man.
and then people come in the metaverse, and then you charge them. Like to
Yeah.
come, you can rent out your room, your house, like for
Oh,
somebody staying
yeah.
there, or
Yeah.
your car, just like real everything.
I was
in real
about to
life.
say, this
So it's passive income, right?
it's a virtual world
Yeah.
that basically is limitless on what you can do. It's almost like you get to live a second life. Now,
Yeah.
not to say that
Crazy,
some people do, but, stay in them worlds for like 24/7, play on that game or whatever. You have your headset on and stuff like that, But,
It's kind of hard to wrap your head around it.
It is.
For the first time, like hearing this, like first time I heard it, I was just like, "What? Are you serious? Like, are you kidding me? Like, I can buy this, I can build whatever this, And
Don't leave the chat. Oh, don't leave the video now. Come on back. Let's get it. We talking some good stuff now.
It's great now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's kind of overwhelming. Like,
Yeah.
when you first learned about it, and
You think about what the virtual world is, like people that scared to do stuff, and you really got to think about it. Like, you get into your virtual world, and it's almost like what you're doing right now, and you don't have to worry about it. Like, you can get into a virtual world where you can carry, weapons and stuff like that, and you can almost like Grand Theft Auto, but virtual world.
Yeah.
And
right.
you get to create stuff, you like generate pets or generate clothes, generate wood and stuff. Like, you can open up a hotel or build a house or whatever,
Crazy.
and then charge it, and you're earning passive income. Even if it, like in real life, you talk about like real estate and being an investment, like what's it called, rental properties. Okay, well, you do the same thing in the virtual world, where you have a house or you have this lot and you leasing it out. I mean, that's crazy.
Man, it's nuts. I think it's going to take off. It's going to be huge. It's getting there, and especially as the technology goes on. I mean, you got other good coins too besides this.
Yeah.
Decentraland and stuff too. I
Yeah.
just think that they're probably the number one.
Right.
They would be my top pick personally.
Right.
Of course, do your own research. But I'm very, very bullish on Sandbox.
Oh, yeah.
I think you are too. But yeah, it's like it's been around since 2011. Like, a newer coin you're kind of scared to invest in. Like, it might go to the bear cycle and disappear.
This token right here has already been through two cycles, 2 whole cycles.
I mean, it's older than Ethereum.
And now it is pretty low, 66 cents or whatever, 60 something cent.
It's 92% down right now. I think
Yeah.
that's what it is.
But that's expected in the bear market, type of thing. And, we'll see, but I definitely think they could break out past the all-time high of what they did,
So right now it's ranked 55?
Yeah.
50, yeah. So, I mean, which tells me and, everybody that it's got potential to move up, right?
Yeah.
To be more valuable, right?
Yeah.
It's not that number. It's still on 100. I mean, that's good. But it's not even a 50 yet. It's not a 10, but it has the potential to like. I remember when Facebook changed their name to Meta, and that's when Sandbox pumped to $8. It went from like $3 and something to $8.44. I mean, just like that. All the Meta coins, Central and stuff like that. So you can only imagine, like, in the future, in the next 5 years, maybe even sooner, whenever there's like big news coming out about it, it's gonna.
Oh, right. I mean, that's all all that it takes is. Like, you can't just go steady, right? Like, you always got to build and grow and get better. And always, you got to adapt to the different stuff that gets thrown at you.
Right.
Same thing in life. You always got to adapt. You always got to overcome and build and grow. And same thing like we're talking about with education and building passive income or whatever the case may be. It's the same with these games, right? Like, the crypto projects and assets and tokens, exchanges, you're always in competition. You're always competing with everybody else. Like, okay, this coin is doing this. Okay, I need to do this. So they're all competing with each other at the end of the day. And that's really like what's going to keep a project alive.
Right. And they keep coming out with new updates and improvements and stuff. I kind of look at Sandbox like it's the Ethereum of later ones. Like, how Ethereum is the biggest one been around the longest.
Right.
I kind of look at like a Sandbox is the the metaverse of Ethereum. Kind of like, it's been around pretty much the longest.
Yeah.
And they're number one.
Well, you got different spaces, I believe, and like you have the top of every space. Like this is more of a virtual world coin.
I think they're number one in their spot.
Like they have the virtual world. Like if you want to play in the virtual world, reality type of game,
exactly.
Then you know this would be number one. Like, and then if you want to go to like shooting games or card games, because there's so many different categories when it comes to the gaming space.
That's a diversification.
Yeah,
thing,
right.
You can diversify. So this coin right here, this is one of my coins that I'm trying to accumulate.
Yeah.
In this bear market, like this is what I'm trying to reach my goal, and get there because that's how strongly I feel about this.
What you got now? About $1 million?
Shoot. Not yet.
45, 50.
45, 50.
45,000.
But
what?
some YouTube influencers feel so strongly about this coin that they're calling it the next Bitcoin. That in 10 years that this will be the next Bitcoin. Like you basically be getting Bitcoin when it's real cheap.
Yeah.
Because it could be like way up there like the next Bitcoin basically. So that's what they're saying about it. Like and these are like big time.
Yeah, everybody trying to live in this virtual world.
So, and I mean, it makes sense. You can see what they're going by, kind of thing. But yeah, so.
I mean, it's definitely fascinating.
Yeah.
I'm bullish on Sandbox, and I've acquired Sandbox, and
right.
Again, trying to reach the same goals and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I believe in the project and everything.
Yeah.
But there's so much stuff out there, like you can get into. I mean, it's endless, really. Like you can be speechless when you're trying to I could tell you this or tell you that.
I mean, I'm not gonna miss that ride. I mean, that pump. Last time I didn't have any Sandbox. When it went to $8, and it was like a couple bucks or whatever, and it shot up. I ain't missing that again, dude. Like I'm not gonna go there. Like I know it's gonna go back up. I mean,
it's just a matter of time.
It's gonna blow past that 8, in the next few years. I mean, it could be.
And that's one thing that the people need to realize is, like, this space right here, being in crypto, is all about patience and timing. Again, we've talked about it in other videos, but it's so important to be patient with this. Like, don't really worry about what your portfolio is looking like. If it's down 20%, down 30%, or you're down $1,000, or you're down $700, or whatever the case may be, don't even worry about that. You gotta, know what you hold. We've spoke about that countless times in other videos, but again, it's all about being patient and knowing that you got a good coin and knowing that you got something valuable. It's like if you held gold, in the real world, you got gold, it's valuable. You ain't just gonna you ain't just gonna look at the gold price and say, well, it went down $10, I'm gonna get rid of all my gold. No, you're gonna hold it because you know that it's valuable, and everybody purchases gold.
You research and you understand what you got. Yeah, you gotta know what you hold.
And I mean, everybody purchases gold. You know what I'm saying? Like you can sell gold any day of the week if you wanted to.
They don't want to give it to you usually.
And gold fluctuates too, right?
Yeah.
So it goes up and down too. People probably don't even realize that.
Much. Like it's good to hold precious metals and stuff, but you're not gonna make the kind of returns off of this kind of stuff.
It's more of like more of like a safety net, just like putting it in your safe at the house, putting cash in the safe at the house, or whatever the case may be. Like you're not gonna make no great returns, but it does fluctuate.
And like you were saying, when the price goes down, to me, that's just a buying opportunity.
Yeah.
I don't go, oh man, my money went down, or whatever,
And it changes your average too.
Yeah, and if you hold on to this stuff for like 4 years or whatever, and like you're buying it now at 60 cents, well, the next low 4 years from now, it might be like $10 or something, and you're gonna be in the money kind of thing.
Yeah, right.
So patience again, like you're talking about, and really, it's nice once you understand the cycles. It's like right now is the time to accumulate, right? So we're so fortunate that we have that time period to accumulate, because like if you get it on the bull run, and you're just gonna, all you can do is buy like the little dips here and there. You're not, like you can't just go where it's kind of flat like it is right now.
Or like right now in accumulation where you're riding it up, you're buying every opportunity as it's going up.
Yeah. And I mean, there'll be a point where like, I'm going to stop accumulating.
Yeah.
Once it reaches a certain price. And then, then there'll be a time when I start selling,
Right.
strategy for that.
And then you'll have somebody else that's trying to buy because that's really all it boils down
timing,
to.
you know, it's all about the timing, getting in before everybody else wants it.
You always got, and in this aspect, you got you buying. That means somebody else is selling. If you're selling, that means somebody else has to buy it. You know.
Yeah.
I mean that's how it works.
Yep.
I think this was a pretty good show, though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think so. I believe so. Yeah, we hit
Pretty good knowledge, and good coverage on multiple things, especially in the gaming and leverage trading. Leverage trading being a lot more difficult, a lot more advanced. Again, you can, if you want to know more about any of the content that we've produced so far, we've produced many of videos on exchanges, different goals, and just all sorts of different videos that you can check out on our channel. And I think the next episode we do Monday is going to cover cold wallets and hot wallets.
Yeah.
And that's going to be pretty big because of the simple fact of you need to know where you can store your assets and having your money safe.
Place you can do
yeah.
It, yeah.
So
safer than like ever using a bank or anything. I mean, just well, we'll get into all that next week and stuff. But if you like the show, guys, and you enjoyed the content, give us a like and subscribe to this. You'll get those notifications. We're live right now. We go live twice a week. And leave us a comment and tell us what you would like for us to talk about. If you have any questions about a particular coin, whether it be even an exchange, or I mean anything, just let us know.
Or any how to.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, anything like.
And it ain't got to be on live stream. You know, we pretty much check our videos, you know, constantly, or you know, if you leave a comment, we'll get a notification or whatever.
We're just two working guys like everybody else in the world, you know, and we're trying to educate people.
Yeah.
And give them, you know, some help, you know, like we learned the hard way on some things.
Right.
We did pretty good, and try to share that knowledge and stuff.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
If you guys can like, and you know, the biggest thing you can do is give us a like. You know.
Yeah, at least give us a like. So yeah, hopefully we'll see y'all on Monday. And again, we'll be talking about where to store your assets, cold wallets and hot wallets, and